making our time to be here with us today. All right, thank you. So I promise you it's going to be worth your time. I mean, if you are taking 2 hours out of your weekend to be here, I might as well just, make it worth your while. So please, if you have any friend, colleague that you know has been, trying to gain more knowledge about visa sponsorship, how to get a job in tech, please share the link to this session with them. Please share the link to this session with them, as it's going to be very, very impactful to everyone on the call today. So I'll share my screen real quick so we can get started. But while we're warming up, while we're trying to get started, I'd like you all to kind of give me a brief introduction about yourself by typing in the chat where you're joining us from. So type where you're joining from and the career path in tech that you are trying to get a job in. So just type something like London project management, Birmingham data science. So where you're joining from and the career path you're trying to get a job in. So I would look forward to seeing you type that. Okay. Fortunatus. Okay, well, Fortune, Wigan, data science, amazing. Thank you very much, Fortune. So please keep it coming. I would like to get to know everyone on the call. I see some people raising their hands already. We've not started the session, guys. This is just us trying to get to know each other. So I'll take questions definitely as we proceed into the session. Inaye says Leeds, Agile Project Management, Belfast, Machine Learning Engineer, Business and Project Management. That's Omolade, Wolverhampton. Okay, thank you all so much for introducing yourselves. Mercy says physiotherapy. Mercy, have you taken a course in tech? Obaro says a career in GRC, Manchester. Okay, thank you. Theophilus says business analysis and project management, Liverpool. Mohammed, Bristol, project management and business analysis. Thank you so much. Amazing. Nice to have you all join us today. Nice to have you all on the call. So let me share my screen. And you are already probably familiar with the topic we're treating today, but if you're not, I would still, I'll still mention the topic. Let me be sure my screen is up. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. My screen is very visible. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Moses. Thank you, Janiel. So beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone. So we're going to be having a conversation around building proof of work that gets you sponsored in 2026. Now, I know that the year is rounding up, it's wrapping up, and we're gearing towards a new year, right? We most likely all had a goal set for the year 2026, right? Sorry, 2025. Maybe part of your goal was, take a course, get a job in tech, and a couple other things. Now, it's possible you did not achieve all of those goals, and most times it's because especially if it has to do with career, maybe you didn't get all of the information you needed to help you just approach it more strategically so that you're not wasting time and effort, because sometimes lack of information or limited access to good resources and information can really impact our chances of getting a job negative, right? So the essence of this session, I promise you, is to give you all of the needed information, resources, and insights into how you can build proof of work and get a business sponsorship job come 2026. And it's not like this thing is not possible. It's not like the approach is rocket science type, but it's pretty much more like, you just having access to the right information, having access to the right mentorship, the right guidance, and sometimes the right structure that helps you build better, right? So we're going to be breaking down everything around how you can get a job in tech, and not just that, even stand a chance to be sponsored. Now, if you're just joining any Amdari session for the very first time, please give me a thumbs up. You're just joining any Amdari session for the first time. Thank you, Theophilus, Fortune, Joy. If you've joined us before, type 2 in the chat. If you've not joined us, give me a thumbs up. If you've joined us before, type 2 in the chat. Let me know the people that are familiar with us already, and let me know those that are joining us for the first time. If I don't see a 2 in the chat, that means everyone here is joining for the first time. Okay. Moses has joined us before. Obaro, Daniel, Emuna. Okay, great. But then we still have a lot of newcomers here. So for the sake of the newcomers on the call today, I'll introduce Amdari and what Amdari does. Thank you, Temitope. So Amdari helps you gain real world experience through internship, right? We help you gain real world experience through internship in a very structured manner. And I'll explain how that works as we forge ahead into the session. Now, we are very familiar with the struggle of getting a job in tech. I've taken a course. I was told that data science is an in-demand career path. I was told that data analytics is a career path that is in demand. I was told that project management is a career path that recruiters are hiring for. If you're familiar with these statements, give me a thumbs up, please. I know it seems like you're giving me a lot of thumbs up, but I promise you, I just want to make sure that we are together. I want to be sure that I am not speaking to myself only. So please be alert and indulge me. Let's have a conversation, right? So you've heard this so many times. Oh, recruiters are hiring for cybersecurity. Just take a course, you'll get a job as a cybersecurity person, either under GRC, pen testing, or SOC, right? They'll also tell you, even in project management, oh, recruiters, I mean, it has a lot of jobs for entry-level professionals. And then you're done taking this course, but you're struggling to get a job, right? You're done taking this course, but you're struggling to get a job. Most times, the reason is not because you're not smart. It's not because the recruiters have anything against you. It's just because you lack the needed proof, right? The proof that would make them say that, okay, I think I can trust this person with, my work, with my company's job, with joining us and delivering value. I think I can trust this person. Now, when you are unable to give them the reason to trust you, right, then it becomes a case of them ghosting you. And what's the reason? What do you show them that, okay, this is something I've done before? It's purely something you can get through experience, real world experience. And that's where Amdari comes in. Because most companies would not hire you without experience. And how are you expected to gain experience as a GRC professional if nobody's going to give you that structure where you can work and gain that experience? So again, we realize that it's not enough to just work on capstone project, case study project, because we have a lot of people in the job market, and all these people in the job market are coming in strong. You're not the only one in the job market competing against yourself alone. You're competing against 500, 600 other people. And these other people have business context backing every project they've worked on. They have proof of impact, proof of value delivered, not just a random project on their portfolio. Because most times when we also say that, oh, have proof of work, people think that it's just, let me just have projects on my portfolio. That's not the case. There is so much more that what you're referring to as proof of work extends and exceeds beyond just projects, that is capstone project or case study project. We're talking impact, value, metrics in terms of making money for a company, saving time for a company, saving costs for a company. So if your proof of work is just random projects and not any of the things that I've mentioned, those people who have all of these things end up getting the job. So we realized at Amdari that just working on projects is not enough. You need to have business context backing everything you've worked on. And that's where the internship at Amdari comes in. That's exactly the problem Amdari solving, giving you real world experience through business context projects where you get to solve real business problems. And like I said, we'll get to that as we proceed. Now, why are we here today? We'll break all of that down. The essence of this conversation today is how to stand out and get sponsored. What are the tricks, the strategies that you can adopt to ensure that you get a visa sponsorship job in the UK? We mostly mistake this visa sponsorship for something that is handed over to you. It's not handed over because whoever is sponsoring you is spending money, around 7K, right, in paperwork, in paying for your sponsorship, and bearing in mind that they also get to pay your salary. So if all of this has to be included, right, has to be put into perspective by the employer, then they need to have something in return. They don't know you, they've never worked with you before. So the best you can give them is proof that you can actually deliver, proof that you can actually do the work, proof that they can take that risk with you, right? Now, I would again explain how everything around this plays out. For visa sponsorship, It's not a favor. That's one thing I would like you to rule out from your mind. Most times people just say, I'm trying to get a visa sponsorship job. I need somebody that will sponsor me. You're making it look like it's charity. You're making it look like it is something that has to be handed over. But like I said, these recruiters also have a lot that they are trying to bear in mind. I'm spending money on this person. I'm sponsoring this person. I am going to this extent to sponsor this person. What exactly am I getting in return? So what they do is they take calculated business decision. If you look like you're worth it, they will proceed to sponsoring you. If you don't look like you're worth it, they will not take that risk. They would not take that risk. Now, before we start breaking it down, I'd like to introduce myself. You all have introduced yourself, so I feel it's, only polite to let you know who I am also. So my name is Omowumi Victoria Samson. I'm one of the co-founders at Amdari. I'm also the Chief Technology and Business Officer here at Amdari. I have a background working in EdTech, film tech, as well as marketing. And I've worked in capacity of a product manager, a software engineer, a business analyst, and business developer also. Now, in the last 1 year, through Amdari, I've been able to help over 8,000, in fact, close to 2,000 right now, professionals across the UK gain real world experience by working on real business problems at Amdari, and some of them have gone on to land jobs, all thanks to the mentorship they get from people like myself and the other co-founders at Amdari, and also seasoned professionals that they get to work with in the course of the internship. So Amdari boasts of a lot of brilliant minds. One of them is Ifemena, who is one of our co-founders as well. Ifemena has a wealth of experience across the tech ecosystem, working in the UK, US, and Canada, currently based in Canada, Alberta, Canada. He has worked as a data science contractor, business data support lead, and just to mention a few, and he has helped over 2,000 plus professionals across the UK gain real world experience and land job. I'm talking transitioning seamlessly, right? And the same thing applies to our third co-founder, Adeza Suleiman. Like I said, Amdari boasts of brilliant minds. Everyone that I'm mentioning so far has gone through this stage that you are right now, taking a course in tech, trying to get a job, and the only answer was just internship. Now, that internship was the defining moment for every one of us, and that's why we got that light bulb moment to build Amdari, to start Amdari, because again, nobody's going to hire you without experience. And how many people are really given the opportunity to even intern right now? If we say, oh yeah, you need internship, apply to companies that is going to hire you as an intern. We have companies like that. Yes, we do. But in comparison to the number of people who are taking tech courses every month, graduating from tech programs every month, the number of companies willing to hire interns and the number of slots open to interns is very limited in comparison to that wide, or rather that large number of interns or tech professionals that we get to have out there every month. So we said, let's build a system that would accommodate more interns. And that's why we started Amdari. So Adeza is one of the brilliant minds behind Amdari. He's a tech expert. He has worked across the UK and the US also, currently residing in Canada. He has worked as a data science consultant, data analyst consultant, and also a business performance professional. He has also helped over 2,000 professionals transition into tech. I'm talking helping people gain real world experience and helping them get jobs with companies that sponsor them, right? So again, with Amdari, you know that you're guaranteed of beautiful mentorship from people who have gone through this process and they know exactly what recruiters need. And that's why we built the structure that properly sets you up for success, right? So I would like us to get started now. Like I said, if you're just joining us, you've not missed much. You've just missed the introductory part of the conversation. Now, if you have a friend who you know would gain so much from a conversation around visa sponsorship, from a conversation around tech jobs in the UK, I urge you to share this with them, because the best thing when it comes to winning is to win as a squad, right? Not win alone. So if you know there are people that you can share this with, please copy the link to this session and just send it to them. Hi, join this session. I think it will be very beneficial to you. All right. And if you're just joining, or for everyone who has joined, I'll be sharing so much on the call today, and I'd like you to have access to not just the recording, but also the slides from this session. So please fill the attendance form that my colleague is dropping in the chat, as it would really help us send you the link to this document. That's the slide. And I have a list of companies that are sponsoring in the UK, over 130,000. So I'd like to share that list with you as well. The very recent and updated list. So fill the attendance form that my colleague is dropping in the chat. He just dropped it again. You see Amdari form. Fill it up and you will get the recording and also the link to the session. Sorry, not the link. The link to the visa sponsorship companies. Now, when it comes to getting a job in the UK, most people try to convince recruiters, I have a degree, I'm certified, I'm passionate, I just need a chance. If this has been your strategy, can you give me a thumbs up? Like when it comes to trying to get a visa sponsorship job, I would like us to be very sincere. It's meant to be a very sincere conversation, right? I don't want to assume, I don't want to make things up in my head. I just want to assume that we are very familiar with everything here. So if your approach has been, hi, I have a degree, I'm certified, I'm taking a course in this and that, and I'm a passionate person, just give me a chance and you will see that I will deliver. If this has been your strategy, give me a thumbs up. Now, I've seen some thumbs up already. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this is because it is not one that works, right? It is not one that works. Thank you very much, Regina. Regina said it's reality, it's not even strategy. Beautiful, right? So if this is what you've been saying or your approach, right? If this is the strategy you've been using, it's not going to work because it's not a winning strategy. Now, I'd like you to put yourself in the shoes of a recruiter for a minute. Now, you are not even imagining or assuming. I promise you, there have been times you also have to hire people. It might not be you hiring as a CEO, it might not be you hiring as HR, it might not be you hiring as a founder, but you have hired before. Again, let me use Regina's word. Yeah, it's reality. You probably have hired an artisan at some point. You're working on something, you needed something done, maybe you needed your hair done, you needed to barb your hair, you moved into a new location, you've never, you didn't live here before. So you want people that can get things right, and you would need them to show you proof of what they've done before. You won't just assume that this person will get my haircut right. You won't just assume that this person will get the couch right. I want to see what you've done before. I need a new couch for my apartment or stuff like that. You have also been in a position where you needed to decide whether or not to go with somebody, right? So that means that you are very, very familiar with the fact that you turn people down, not because of anything personal, not because you think they are not smart or intelligent, but because they are not just convincing you that they will give you what you want. You have a picture of what you want. You have a couch in mind. You have local carpenters around, or maybe the one in a store, right? Whichever approach you choose to take. But let's imagine you choose to take the local carpenter route now, and you're trying to give this person the job or the gig. You want to see what they've done before. Them coming to you and saying, oh, hi, yes, I'm very good at it. I've done it. I've taken a course, or I enrolled in a carpentry program. I don't know what they call it, right? But then you had to decide. And your reason for picking them, I'd like you to type it in the chat, right? Your reason for picking them is what? Whoever it is, whether it's even the carpentry story or not. But the reason why I'm saying this is because you have been in a position where you decided whether or not to work with somebody, where you decided whether or not to pay somebody to get something done for you. Paying somebody to get something done for you means recruiting that person. Adeni says, do I need to fill the form again if I have registered before? Okay, no, you don't have to fill the form if you've done that before. Yeah, my colleague has responded. So I want you to just imagine your friend who is getting married. She trusts you so much and she puts you on board to say, okay, exactly, Adedayo. Adedayo says, showroom to showcase their skills. If there is no proof through a showroom, Adedayo would not proceed with working with that person. So that showroom is their proof of work. That showroom is their own portfolio, right? Not even just glancing through their Instagram now. Let me see what you've done before. So your friend has trusted you to plan their wedding, down to the cake, down to the dress, down to, everything, the event, the hall decoration, and all of that. Now, you planning that event means you hiring different people to deliver on different tasks or projects. Now, okay, Regina, you're in a hurry. Regina is already answering the question before I ask. So now you have two people that you're considering. maybe two people that were recommended, or somehow they heard about it and they come to you. For the cake part now, there is Baker A. Thank you, Regina. There is Baker A. Baker A says, I've watched tons of tutorials and I am really passionate. Give me a chance. And then there is Baker B, right? And Baker B says, here are 3 wedding cakes I have already, here are 3 wedding cakes I've already made. I have more samples on my Instagram page. You can check it out. Now, you're going with Baker A or Baker B. I'd like you to type it in the chat. I know Regina has typed already, right? Okay. Okay, Samuel, you're going to, it's always sent to your email after every session. So if you don't receive it, maybe check your junk folder. We always send the resources from this session. The email goes out every Sunday, right? The following day. So maybe check your junk folder or something. But we always send the resources to the session. All right, Janie says B, exactly. It is job site or list of companies. It is actually list of companies sponsoring. The job site is accessible to our interns, Regina. The job site is for our intent, for list of companies sponsoring is for exactly. Yeah, thank you. So Matilda says she's going with person B. So please keep it coming, guys. Like I said, I want this to be interactive. So the more you type in the chat, the more we are. Okay. Thank you, Regina. I see that. So yeah, as I was saying, right, at the end of the day, you will go with Baker B because this person is not just telling you I am passionate. She's showing you proof of her passion through the work she has done before. And now it's not just about passion, but also the fact that you can see that she can deliver on the job through the designs you've seen, right? And most likely you even get to taste it because she has done it. Because your certificates, your tutorials, and me giving you a chance does not guarantee that the chocolate cake is really going to taste like a chocolate cake, right? Or the velvet cake is really going to taste like the velvet cake. Okay, so employers aren't asking if you're smart because that's what A is doing. You're telling me that you've taken a course, you're passionate, you have the zeal, you have, all of that. It's not enough. They are not doubting that you're smart, but they are doubting if you can actually reduce their risk, if you can make them money or save them money, if you can deliver from day one without costing them headaches. A founder, a CEO is already going through a lot. I promise you, there is so much to worry about. Some of them are trying to raise funding rounds. They're trying funding rounds. They're trying to raise seeds for the company. They're trying to show up here, network, just to build something. So if they're hiring you to come get the job done, it's because they need a capable hand to handle that part. So if you're showing signs of someone that needs to be micromanaged, that would not be able to deliver from day one, that would need guidance and a lot of hand holding, then they don't have the time for that. They would definitely keep sourcing and searching for somebody that will deliver on the job, right? So Adeni, my colleague, is going to drop the booking link for you to book a clarity call with us. Yeah, we have that Mondays to Fridays. So you can book it and it's more, limited people on that. So you can actually click on that Mondays to Fridays, book a session or a slot that works for you. Jude, if you're just joining us, you've not missed much, right? But it's about visa sponsorship jobs in the UK and how you can position to stand a better chance to getting these jobs come 2026, right? Because we're just 1 month away from wrapping up 2025. So what these recruiters want is somebody that will prove to them that I can make you money, I can save you time, I can save you cost, and I can actually deliver independently. So, dear Baker 1, if anybody falls under that category, or Baker A rather, I only have the passion, I only have the certificate. It's about showing the workings, not about, how they say, not be by church or church, just show workings, right? So you need to show them because, like I said, you are not the only one in the job market. There are a lot of people there. So if you're not competing against yourself alone, if the recruiter has so many options and you just have passion to show, right? You just have certificate to show, it is not going to help you. They would proceed with the person that is Baker B. They don't have anything against you. They don't doubt that you're smart, but you are just not giving them proof. So employers don't just trust your words. They trust the evidence, the showroom. Like who said it earlier? I think I'm trying to see, but somebody typed it earlier, right? When I asked who you're going to go for when you're trying to get a carpenter to work for you. Thank you, Janiel and Samuel. So they want you to show them evidence. That's what they trust. So if I can see proof that you've done it before, I will trust you. So most job seekers make this mistake, applying to jobs before having proof of value delivered. So I asked a question earlier, you've taken a course, right? Omolade, my colleague would attend to you in the comments so you can pick it. So if you've taken a course already, I asked, and you're struggling to get a job, even though people have said they're hiring for project management roles, they're hiring for data science roles. Oh, if you check free.co.uk, in just one day, there are like 500 project management roles. There are over 100 cybersecurity roles posted. In 2 weeks, there are like 6,000 data science or data analytics roles, but you are still struggling to get a job. It is because you're missing and skipping a step, a very, very important stage. After taking a course, you don't go straight to applying to a job. You first apply that knowledge on solving real business problems so that you can have that proof that we say that recruiters trust, so that you can have that evidence that we say that recruiters trust. So when you don't have that evidence, when you don't have that proof, you think something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. It doesn't mean you're not smart. You're just not ready. You don't have that proof that make them say that, okay, I can trust this person. So when it also comes to building portfolio, again, we realize that people think it's just about working on projects. Oh, let me have GitHub with different projects. Let me have a dashboard that shows this, that shows that, fancy, visualizations and the likes. Now, it's not enough to show business context. Employers want to see your reasoning process, how you think through ambiguity, and also how you have collaborated and communicated results. You can only get this through internship, because with internship comes working in collaboration, not working in isolation, not watching tutorial videos, not working in an unstructured manner. Because when you're just working on projects, it's just you. You don't have a team. These are things that makes you solid and stand out. Because trust me, at the end of the day, me trying to hire one person, it's about going with the person that stands out, right? And standing out does not come with this. When you build, portfolio filled with, oh, I know how to use this tool, I have designed this dashboard, I use Splunk, GRC, Autopsy, Wireshark, and the likes to do this. Where is the business context? How do I tell your reasoning process? How do I tell that you think through processes? How do I tell that you collaborated with teams, even cross-functional teams? Okay, you call yourself a project manager, but I can't see really the project you've managed, or the team you've managed, or the sprints you had, or the Scrum meetings, or the stakeholder you've conversed with, right? So if I can't see all of these, how am I going to trust that you have worked in a structured environment, right? So projects alone does not help you stand out. So when people say that have projects in your portfolio, they need to be very specific. Break it down. Project in your portfolio is not what gets you the job. Business context in your portfolio, cross-functional team exposure, working with people, working with stakeholders, team leads, mentorship, and structured, approach to this is what makes you stand out. So, and that's why I keep saying internship is honestly just the answer. It's not just working on capstone projects. So, real world experience is not a nice to have. It's not a stage you should skip. So, you take a course. Please don't go straight to applying to jobs. Ensure that you gain real world experience. That stage is a must have. Experience is a must have, not a nice to have. What is a nice to have is certification, right? Certification, that's what's a nice to have. But what a must have is that actual experience, and the one that is backed with business context. So the reason why business, or rather immigrants, actually fail is because they keep chasing sponsorship like it's charity. And that's why you see people keep saying something like, I don't think there are a lot of business sponsorship jobs under tech roles. I see more under health and care roles. I see more under survival roles, maybe prison services and the likes. There are tech, sponsorship jobs, but most of them are not posted on job boards. And I'll tell you how honestly this has worked out for me, right? Okay, I'll get some of these questions as we proceed so that it doesn't interrupt my line of thought, right? But I see your question, Abdul, and also Samuel, but I've not read everything, but I'll come back to that. So why work experience matters? I've hinted at this as I was conversing, but I'll still break it down. Now, I said earlier that for you to get sponsored, it costs the recruiter a lot. Sponsorship doesn't come free. So if I'm spending money to sponsor you, I want to be sure that you are worth so much more in return, right? I want to be sure that you are worth so much more in return. So if you're showing me evidence that you will do so much, you will deliver so much, I would end up sponsoring you. Now, there is something that people don't see. Oh, there are no tech sponsorship jobs online as much as you see for care roles. Like I said, that's because most of them are in the hidden job market. They are not posted publicly. Some of them are posted publicly. How are these roles filled then? You might wonder. Some of these sponsorship roles are filled after you've worked with these companies and they just see that you are just indispensable. You're just so good that they need to make you, they need to do more with you. They need to do more for you. And like I said earlier, that's one thing that worked for me. So the first job I got in tech, I got it by shooting my shot. I sent a DM during my internship. I was 4 months into my internship. I sent a DM to a founder. After sending this DM, 24 hours later, I'm going to send you a screenshot. I'm going to share the screenshot of this DM. Just a minute. So as I said, right, I sent this recruiter a DM. Why did I send them a DM? I was 4 months into my internship. I had worked on beautiful, amazing projects. This project had built my confidence. I was so confident in myself. I was like, okay, I want to do more. My internship is going to be wrapping up in like few months' time. I need that opportunity to, work with somebody, to work somewhere. And then I said, okay, how do I really apply? I started sending DMs, and then I actually sent just one. I not started sending DMs. I sent one. I checked out this founder. I really liked their work. It was a beautiful company. It was amazing. And it was one that I knew that getting a job there would help me build and grow faster, because it was like for my level at that time, it was still like high up there. That's the company and the work that we were doing. Because like I said, I was an intern. So I sent the founder a message. I didn't send a message to the HR. No, I sent it to the founder, and I made sure that my page was attractive enough for any founder. What I mean by that is I look like a professional in practice. I look like somebody that this top-notch founder would respond to. Because I checked my page and I said, do I look like somebody I would even respond to? Do I look like a professional in practice or somebody that is still confused, right? And I said, honestly, I wouldn't respond to myself also. I looked at the caliber of the person I was trying to send a DM, the company, the work that they were doing, the quality of people that would be working there. I needed to look like that quality, that person. So I changed, like I deleted stuff from my page and I posted stuff that made me look like that professional, right? And thankfully, my internship positioned me. I was able to speak at Google Developers Meetup. I was able to speak at a Kotlin Meetup. Remember, I said that my career path, my career trajectory started with me working as a software developer, right? So I attended a lot of meetups. I spoke at some of them just in 4 months. I was putting myself out there. That's one thing the internship at Amdari will also do for you. So I was putting myself out there, and thank God I did that. I didn't know I was building receipts. I had no idea that that would mean something. I just did not want to be somebody that was going, to the internship, sitting down and not doing anything other than ticking the box. I was not going to tick the box during my internship. I was going to do so much more, and that was what I did. And honestly, I didn't know that that was going to mean anything. I just was not going to come here to tick boxes. And thankfully, I did that. That became a receipt. I posted this when I was about to send this founder a message. And guess what? I didn't send him a DM immediately. I gave it 2 weeks. I was not in a hurry. Remember, I said I still had 2 more months for my internship. That's the beautiful thing about being prepared before an opportunity even comes knocking. But this one was not even opportunity knocking. I went in search of that opportunity myself. Because if I had said, let me go the route of job board, or let me wait until my internship is over, I would not have gotten this job. And you see that single step I took kind of changed the story, like the career, and like changed it for good for me. Because the people I met from that job I got, that one where I shoot my shot to the people I met, it just formed the foundation of everything and the direction I've gone in my career today. Like that single place that I worked. And like I said, I deliberately sent that DM because I knew that the caliber of people that will be working here, oh my God, it's going to build it. So I started working with them 7 months in. Remember, I said I got the job within 24 hours of sending that DM. I'll show you the screenshot. So I worked with them 7 months. I was not going to tick the box. I didn't tick the box during my internship. Would I start ticking the box when I got an actual job? Definitely no. So I wasn't ticking the box during my actual job. I wanted to go from being entry level because the role I was hired for was entry level. So I wanted to go from being entry level to even having, a better pay, and also being mid level, at least in the company, and being seen as somebody that was very valuable and resourceful and committed. So I was showing all of that traits through my work, whether or not you were looking, right, as my line manager or whatnot. And guys, that earned me a sponsorship. My relocation was sponsored by the founder of that company 7 months in. So sometimes I promise you, what you need is not the sponsorship upfront. What you need is to get your leg in the door or your foot in the door, deliver value relentlessly, and these people would see you as valuable. That's why sometimes we say, oh, there are no tech business sponsorship jobs out there that much. That's because most of these roles are filled, or most of these sponsorship are gotten through people that are already in the company, in the system. Why is that the case? Because you don't propose marriage to somebody you just meet for the first time, right? Because sponsorship is like commitment. You're paying so much, about 5,000 to 10,000 in license fees, legal paperwork, and compliance audit. So if they are paying this much, then most of them will not want to gamble immediately. They want to, see you work. And that's why some people, how they get it is after working contract jobs for a few weeks, right? After working contract job for a few weeks, excuse me, after working contract jobs for a few weeks or few months, sorry, not weeks, few months, say 3 months or the like, these people have kind of gone through the courtship stage with you, right? That honeymoon phase, that stage where they can tell if, okay, everything you said during the interview was just so that you can get the job, or you are really who you say you are in terms of delivery, in terms of communication, in terms of being a proactive thinker, in terms of being a smart team member, somebody that thinks on their feet and the like. So when they've seen this about you, they are convinced beyond reasonable doubt that you are worth the investment. That you are. It's no longer a risk anymore at this point, to be honest, right? So why do they, have that skeptical mindset when it comes to sponsoring? It's because of risk aversion, right? To also have cognitive ease and also loss aversion. Now, for risk aversion, companies are risk phobic. I am trying to hire somebody for my company. Say I start a fintech company today. I introduced myself as a software person, right? Software developer, product manager, business analyst. I didn't introduce myself as a cybersecurity person. Now I start a fintech company, and I would need my product to be very secure and safe so that the information of people using my platform is not at risk of maybe attack by a malicious person or malicious software and everything like that. I would need a cybersecurity person to join my team. HR manager is not a cybersecurity person. Me, the founder, I am not a cybersecurity person. So if I am hiring you as a cybersecurity person, I need to be sure that you know what you're doing. You're very good at what you're doing and you can deliver on the job. So I am not ready to take a risk and believe in the passion that someone is promising, right? I have to be sure that you've done it before in a familiar environment. Have you worked in a fintech before? Have you worked as a cybersecurity person on that product before? I'm using cybersecurity as an example just so you will understand where I'm coming from. It's the same thing that applies to other career paths, right? These founders hiring you, most of them don't have domain knowledge in the field or role they're hiring you for. So they want to trust that you can do the job and they don't have to micromanage. So if I have to now hire a senior person just because, oh, you just graduated, you just took a course, and I should understand because you're still new. So I need to hire somebody. It's not cost effective for me. I'm a startup, right? Or I'm a company and we're trying to make the money we're spending make sense. So if I have to hire somebody just because someone I'm hiring needs training, then it's not effective. So when you even see companies hiring interns, most times it's either super startups or companies that are already super big. And how many interns do they even have, that chance to take? That's the problem. How many interns are they willing to take? And when people say that, oh, I'm still struggling to get a job, I just take a look at the data that we have out there right now. Right now, we have over 723,000 jobs that would remain unfilled in the UK alone by the end of 2025. And we have a lot of people that are still saying, I'm here to get a job. And this is the amount of unfilled roles. 723,000 roles that are unfilled, that will be unfilled by the end of this year. If that is the case, and we have a lot of people out there, what does this tell you? This tells you that recruiters are willing to hold on, except they get the perfect person. They are willing to make sure we need, because at the end of the day, like I said, work experience reduces risk, right? They are risk phobic, so they are not willing to take that risk. So when you show them this, they will go ahead with you. So cognitive ease is another reason. They prefer candidates whose skill they don't need to imagine. If you're telling me you're passionate, if you're telling me you watch tutorial videos, that I should trust you and give you the cake project or gig to my colleagues or my friend's wedding. My friend has trusted me. Now I have to trust you also and assume or imagine that you can give me a beautiful, tasty cake. I can't take that risk. So I am risk phobic in that case. I cannot take that risk if I have to imagine that. She said, no, don't say, right? Show me that you've done something. This would create instant clarity for me. This would clear all doubts, right? This will clear all doubts that I might have in my mind. Once I just have a piece of the cake you've made before, or I just see a showroom again, taken from what one of the people that joined the call said, seeing a showroom of the couch you've done before, the armchair you've done, or even, whatever piece of furniture you've done before, I see the proof that you've done it. It will clear my doubts, and I would be able to trust that, okay, you can do it. I don't have to imagine that maybe you can or you can't. And then bear in mind that when a company hires wrong, they lost money, they lost time, and there is team disruption. Remember what I said about the number of unfilled roles that we will have at the end of 2025 in the UK alone. I promise you, please Google it, right? The number of unfilled roles in the UK alone that we will have in 2025 is a lot. So they are not willing to take this risk because, like I said, a wrong hire leads to lost time, team disruption, and lost money. It's not worth it. I would rather just wait until we find the perfect person. And there are people looking for jobs, and then there are unfilled roles. So proof of work would pretty much reduce the fear of what you have to lose. Because my friend has trusted me that cake again. I have tested what this person, Baker B, can do, and I know that, okay, yeah, we're good, we're safe, right? And when you say you can do it, it means nothing to recruiters. Like I said, they don't trust words, they trust evidence, right? They trust evidence, and that's the major thing that ends up giving you that guarantee. So when you show them you've done it before, it changes everything. It changes everything. Yes, we're based in the UK and also Canada. So we have some of our colleagues even in Finland, UK, and Canada. So yes, Adedayo. So 100%, right? One thing they will trust is when you show them what you've done. It changes everything because at the end of the day, it answers hidden questions. Please, and that was why I said you've hired before. Maybe not as a founder, maybe not as a CEO, maybe not as HR, but you have hired. And at the back of your mind, while you were trying to give somebody a particular gig, while you were trying to recruit an artisan or somebody, something that was at the back of your mind was, have you solved this exact problem before? I need a couch for my apartment. Let me see the samples of couch you've done before for people. Did anyone trust you enough to let you do it? Again, let me see a showroom. Let me see proof. If I have, this shown to me, I know that people have trusted you. People gave you the job, right? And then that makes you a professional in practice. People trust professionals in practice. The only reason you're giving that Baker B that job is because she has proved that she is a baker in practice, not I watched tutorial videos, right? And then can you deliver without babysitting? You're giving a baker a job to bake for your friend's wedding cake. Please, are you going to be telling her how to do her job? That's the same thing that happens here, right? Please, are you going to tell the baker how to bake? You're hiring the baker to bake for your friend's wedding. 100%, you don't know how to bake, right? Right? It's the same thing with when they try to hire you as a GRC person. So Abdul was asking a question on cybersecurity earlier. So if I'm hiring Abdul as a cybersecurity professional, it doesn't mean I know cybersecurity. Because I own a company does not mean that I automatically am good at every career path or field, right? No, that's not the case. I just know the people that I need to move this company forward. And as That's professional in that field. That makes you the CEO of that domain, of that work that you'll be coming to my company to do. So the same way I'm giving a job to a baker, she's the CEO of that, baking, bakery company and everything. So me giving her the job, I don't have to say, oh, this is the amount of yeast. I know nothing about baking. Oh, this is the amount of flour you should put. Oh, this is how you should mix it. I don't even know what I'm saying, right? I just know that this is the process. This is how you guys typically mix it. That's the same way I would know that, oh, as a cyber security person, this is what your job is all about, right? As a cyber, and the minute you talk to me, I would know if you know what you're saying, right? So how did I hack the system? By shooting my shot. I have told us the story already, but this is just a proof to back up everything I've said about how I sent a DM to a recruiter and how I got the job that ended up sponsoring my relocation 7 months in. This was the DM I sent. I sent it on Instagram and LinkedIn. Now, I got a response on Instagram. That's one thing that people also miss. Please do not restrict yourself to just saying, oh, let me send it to the HR or their social media page. The social media manager is only concerned about people interested in what they're selling. I promise you, they would not send any message to the founder. And apart from that, they might not even know that there is a role that is to be filled. The founder knows more than anybody what role needs to be filled. In fact, your proactiveness, the fact that you take initiative, would make some of them like you so much that they would create a role around you. That was what happened in my case. A role was created around this message I said. They were not hiring. And I'll tell you what. So I sent this message. I said, I just decided to send you a DM. We've had previous conversations, but because of this, the size of my screen and the number of screenshots I can post, just so that it's visible enough for you to read, I could only do these 2 screenshots, right? The midpoint and then the conclusive part of how I got the job. So I said, I just decided to send you a DM because I find your post inspiring and I really look forward to probably working with you. And said, work with me. That would be nice. I've introduced myself, by the way. And then my page, like I said earlier, I had revamped my page to show me as a professional in practice, somebody that this person would respond to. So me getting this response, I promise you, is because this person has checked out my page. So we had exchanged pleasantries. I've said, a couple of things already. So this is just us getting straight to the point, the part that concerns, the conversation we're having right now. So he said, work with me. That would be nice. Guys, I don't know this person from anywhere. I was just courageous, to send that DM. And then I said, that's if you don't mind, sir. He said, what do you do? I said, I'm a web developer. Just completed a Google Digital Marketing Skills for Africa, and I was awarded a certificate. Now, bear in mind, I said, so I'm currently trying to apply all I have learned from the course by building an e-commerce website for my sister's business and applying the SEO and SEM strategies to make her business get in front of prospects. I'm still a student though, final year computer science. I am currently working on an app. Now, this is where I started talking about what I had built. I'm currently working on an app. It's my first mobile app development. And then you can see that there are still more conversations. Again, because of screen size, I cannot post every screenshot. So I went on to send him GitHub links. So this was my first mobile app build, but I had built different websites. I think I had built 3. So I sent him GitHub link. I sent him the website and all of that. See where I was talking and adding business context and search engine and everything like that. And then he responded in between all of this conversation and said, oh, that would be nice. We're actually currently looking to hire a product marketer. Now, product marketer, because this is digital marketing, SEO, SEM, and me being a web developer. It all made sense. It all ties together. And I had practiced in all. So he said product marketer. He said, if I do not mind joining them, he said, he knows that I'm more, excuse me. So he said that he knew that I was more into the web development space, but if I'm open to that, and I took it. So he sent me this message. So I took it because I was trying to also contact, I want to, do more of development, but do I want to take this job? So you can see the message. This was the following day, morning. He said, hi, sir, how is work? He said, how are you? Are you interested in the XYZ work? That was the company name I kind of canceled out. I said, I'm fine. I'm interested, sir, 100%. Drop your number here. And I dropped my phone number. That call was us finalizing every conversation. That took out every recruitment bias. I didn't speak to HR. I just got added to their WhatsApp group straight, and I was introduced as the new product marketer, and that's what it. More than anybody, the founder knows what the company needs. And when they spot what they need, they would bring you on board. There was no job posting. And even if there was a job posting, there was no need for that role, right? I sent a DM and I got it. So here's an example of an intern of ours at Amdari that got a job just by having proof of work also. Now he landed a job in tech in the UK by having proof that beats UK recruiters' doubt. Now he sent a message to his team lead, and the message reads, "Hi Emeka, for every intern at Amdari, you work with a team lead. You don't work alone, you don't work in isolation." So he sent a message to his team lead and he says, "Hi Emeka, just wanted to officially let you know that I have landed a data analyst role within the civil service, and it's a level promotion too. I was asked to prepare a presentation on any data analysis project. I edited and submitted our first project, saved me a lot of time and gave me confidence." His approach was honestly pretty much everything I also sent in terms of DM to that person. But in his own case, he applied. He did not do shooting your shots type of thing, right? So, but he had all of the resources, the proof and everything. And you can see here, he said he edited and submitted the first project he worked on as an intern at Amdari. That saved him a lot of time and gave him confidence. He also spoke about the SQL project when they asked about data acquisition. And he said, "Thanks so much for your mentorship, Emeka. Take your flowers, I beg." And his team lead, who is Emeka, said, "I am proud, Jerry. Well done. You are one of the leading team members." Team members, again, because you are not working alone. You're working with a team lead and you have team members. That's one thing that makes Amdari internship stand out. Now, the competence shortcut hiring managers law. I want to talk about this because most times we think that applying by a job board is the only way to get a job. And I have used my own instance, my story, to show you that honestly, shortcut is their most preferred way of hiring. That's the hiring managers right now. See how that founder hired me in less than 24 hours. There was nothing on a job board. I'm sure he did not even necessarily think that there was a need to fill that role or anything yet. But guess what? Me sending a DM, me introducing myself in the manner that I did, made him have a light bulb moment that it would be nice to create this role. I mean, have somebody like this that will deliver like that, right? And I would like you all to see that this works a lot. Even them sending you a DM. I got my first job by sending the recruiter a DM, right? My second job in tech, after this job that sponsored me, the second job I ever got was in product management. And I got it by getting a DM from a recruiter, right? So safe to say that I have never applied to a job via a job board. Like I have never done that because I have just gotten it through these shortcuts and it works a lot. And we wonder, oh, companies don't post sometimes on job boards or something. That's because they have other means of filling these roles. The founder knows there is a gap, or maybe it's not even obvious yet, but somebody sends a DM, you shoot your shot. I like smart people. Or sometimes, right, a recruiter is like, there is a lady on LinkedIn I see so much. That person might say, oh, there is this person, Emona Orogun or Lilian Waka. I see their post on LinkedIn and they are very smart people. I really love, I think we can work with this person. Let's send them a DM. That's how some people get DMs from recruiters. It's because you're putting yourself out there, you're positioning right. And I'll again explain how this has worked in my case. Now, hiring managers take shortcuts a lot. They stand for signals that reduce their thinking. What business problem have you solved? Can you link? Can I see stuff on your LinkedIn post? Can I see stuff you've put out there? Maybe you shared the story on LinkedIn about a dashboard you built, a problem you solved, or there is probably a proper documentation that just makes everything that answers every question I might have, right? So when you show them all of this faster, you're able to either get a DM from them, you're able to either get them to make up their minds faster and get them to work with you, or you're able to just send them a DM yourself and you get them to give you that yes. These signals create instant trust and skip interview bias. Now, how many of these signals have helped me? When I sent my DM to that recruiter, when I shoot my shot, business problem solved was one of it. It was part of the message, was what I conveyed in the message I sent. LinkedIn posts, I revamped my page. Remember, I made sure that I look like a professional in practice. GitHub repos, when I sent that DM, it carried every project I had worked on. Live dashboards, I didn't have it. I'm not a data analyst, right? What I had in my case was my app. That app I said I had built, those websites I said, links to those websites, project documentation. I didn't share this. I sent it via the message I just sent to him straight. Contribution in real team, definitely because I did my internship. And I, mentioned that also. So the only thing that was not part of what worked for me in that DM was this. Now, shortcut wise, when you get a DM from a recruiter, what's that thing that works? It's what you put out there. Now take a look at these DMs I got as far back as 2021 via LinkedIn from different recruiters. Again, I only have 2 here because of screen size. Even in recent times, I still get some of these messages. So this person is the chief technology officer for this company, a very big company to date. And this is HR administrator, legal officer, and researcher for that company that reached out. Now, this message came in January 2021. This came in July, same year, 2021. This message reads, "Hello, Victoria. My name is XYZ. I lead the technology team at XYZ company. We're currently looking to hire a product manager and your profile caught my interest. Is this something you would be interested in? If yes, I would look forward to having a conversation with you. If not, perhaps I could get a great recommendation." Now, one key thing here is your profile caught my interest. Is this something you would be interested in? See how I am skipping interview bias, the interview stage. The actual person that has the final say in hiring for their tech team sends me a DM. Look at my response. "Hi, thank you for reaching out. This is definitely something I am interested in." Take a look at this first message that came in same year. It says, "We're looking to hire a professional, highly motivated, detail-oriented project manager, blah, 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 blah," right? And I said, "Hi, thank you for reaching out. Can you tell me more about the role and the salary?" Most times people tell you, "Oh, when you're trying to get a job, don't lead with salary before you even show your value or anything like that, because I promise you, you look desperate and all that." Now, when you get to call the shots is when you know 100% that you have so much value to deliver, that you have so much to offer, and that you have, and please bear in mind that something you're posting is why these people are getting to notice you, right? So at this point, when I got this DM, I wasn't honestly looking for a job. I was just 8 months into that job that sponsored my relocation. Everything was good, so there was no major reason to say that, okay, I wanted to start looking. But did I take this job? Yes, because after speaking with them, again, it was straight to the point. I got the job and resumed with them February. So after we, had a conversation, I resumed February. So that was just about 2 weeks of us having a conversation. Of course, I cannot resume at the end of the month. It had to be the beginning of a new month. Guess what? I checked out their page the minute she sent me this DM. And I realized that they had been looking to hire and fill this role for 7 months. For the past 7 months, that flyer had been posted every month on their page, on their Instagram, on their LinkedIn. I scrolled down because I do my research when a company, when I'm about to start working with the company, and I discovered. So you see what I was saying about unfilled roles. They did 7 months. How were they surviving? They were dealing with a contract person. It was the contract person that they were managing to work with, right? They did not hire until they found the right person. So companies would not settle until you look like what they need. So I took this job, and when this message came in 6 months later, because take a look at the dates and month stamp right here, it was just 6 months in. And after speaking with them, because like I said, yes, I'm interested in having a conversation, I realized that it was the same job description, just companies having different job titles. So I was like, it's the same thing. I don't need to leave this job for this. So I stayed with this job, right? So that's exactly how this works out. Now, here's an example of another intern from Amdari that got a job via LinkedIn. A recruiter contacted her. Her name is Anita, and I would like to play this video from Anita. I'll play the video for just 2 minutes because of time, and I'll be taking our questions soon, right? I'll be taking our questions soon. So let's listen to Anita for just 2 minutes and hear how she shares the story of how the internship helped her and how how the internship helped her. So yeah.
So I mean, you got a job of.
By the way, she got the job just 2 months into the internship, right? Most people would wonder, oh, is it possible? I did internship also, and I got the job 4 months into my internship by sending a DM. So it works a lot. In her case, they sent her a DM. If you're not positioning as a professional in practice, it will be hard to get a job. She positioned as a professional in practice, even on her LinkedIn. Going through her LinkedIn, it was just obvious, right? So let's listen to Anita.
So I mean, you got a job offer just a few months, I think about 2 months into the program. So how does that feel? You got a business analyst role. So how does that feel?
Yeah, feels feels exciting. Yeah, feels exciting.
Yeah. Amazing. That's actually great to know. So what specific skills or experience from this Amdari program would you really say gave you that confidence to ace your interview?
So I would say being in the shoes of a consultant actually helped because you're solving business cases, you're preparing the documentation. So having deeper experiences or having first-hand deeper experiences into creating all the business requirement documentations, using all of those tools, going deeper into business analysis itself was a good one for me. So it just helped prepare me for whatever interview was coming.
Awesome. So what would you say the reaction of the recruiters was like during the interview process? You ended up landing in senior business analyst role, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the reaction like when they saw the quality of the project, or even from you talking about the projects you worked on? What was their reaction like
Yeah.
as a result of
I,
what you built, the experience you gained, and what you could do?
I could only see a reaction of, okay, this is the girl we are looking for. This is the person we want to work with, right? And that was because having had experience working with those processes as a consultant in Amdari, I was able to defend those projects, talk about the project in depth. I was able to talk about the tools used in the project, cost of the project, benefits, which is everything you would learn and do as a consultant in Amdari. So the only reaction I got was, this is our girl, this is the person we want. Because even at the interview there, they already started asking me how long I needed to give notice in my current job, and then showing me and telling me about the office, what I should expect, and all of that. So it was actually, it was very encouraging.
Yes, so because of time, we would pause the video there. But like I said, the link to everything regarding all these testimonials are all embedded in this slide. So if you'd love to receive the slide, listen to more, success story of our interns that have gone ahead to get a job, please fill the attendance form that my colleague is dropping in the chat. So he's still going to drop it again, so you can fill it and we will send this to your DM, to your email rather. So let's take a look at the trust curve every immigrant must climb. Now, for level 1, you need to be you need to be able to answer some questions. Can you do the task? From everything Anita shared, you would see that everything is still tied to this, right? She mentioned task, she mentioned solving problems, she mentioned working in a team, right? And she mentioned having these people trust her because she said, oh, they were already at that point where they were like, oh, how many, period of notice does she have to give at her current place of work and everything? Because again, she's positioned as a professional in practice. So you need to be able to answer all of these questions. Can you do the task? If what you're sending, what you're saying is not answering this question, right? Joy, please, you need to, I think it's because you're either joining with a phone. It's a problem we're facing with Google Meet right now. So if you're joined on your laptop, you'll be able to click on that link. If you're joined, I think iPhone also works with it. I don't know, I'm not really sure about that. But I think there are specifications in terms of phones. It's kind of a new feature with Google Meet. So maybe if you can just copy it, that's why it's also a very short form. So that we can send you the link to this and also the company sponsoring from the list of what I have here. So back to what I was saying, right? So you need to be able to answer if you can do the task, if you can solve a problem, if you've done it before, right? And can you work in a structured team? Have you done it before? What was it like? So the stories you're sharing will help the recruiter have answers to this. Because remember I said earlier, they have questions at the back of their mind and they need signals from every response you give to answer those questions they have. So there has to be a signal that answers you can do the task. There has to be a signal that says you can solve problems. There has to be a signal that says you can work in a structured team, and the fact that they can trust you to do the work, right? And lastly, right, are you sponsorship worthy? Are you sponsorship worthy? This typically comes at that stage where probably you've worked with them for a while, or if you're lucky, you get it upfront also, right? So now here's an example of somebody that got a job with, we all know that Deloitte is a company that sponsors. So this intern of ours, his name is Francis.
Hi everybody, your mom will be back with us shortly. It's just probably a network issue at the moment.
Hi everyone. Please confirm you can hear me now. Can anyone hear me now? Thank you, Samuel. So that was actually my browser that kind of froze. So it was telling me that there was something wrong with my browser. So I had to like quickly close that and join on and open a new tab. So sorry about that. So I'm sharing my screen again because I just realized that I was typing something on my screen and it wasn't just coming up. All right, thank you for me and everyone else. Okay, my screen is still coming up. Okay, I think it's. So confirm you can see my screen also with a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up. Can you see my screen? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning on for me. Okay, so yes, as I was saying, right? So his team lead shares this with us and says, my intern landed a PM job at Deloitte, which is what you see here on my screen. And that's honestly one of the things that really works here. Now, the message reads, Nwanne, which is brother in Igbo, for the non-Igbo speaking people on the call. He says, brother, I've just got a call from Deloitte that the interview was successful, starting onboarding in August. To God be the glory. And his team lead says, brother, this has made my week. Congratulations. And then the intern says, now you do pass up Amdari or Mr. Brown. Right? So now let's take a look at one thing that really works out here, the sponsorship equation. Sponsorship is about return on investment for the decision they're taking. And in your case, the proof of work you're showing is return on investment backed with evidence. I have done this with some people before. I can do it with you again, right? I can also do it with you. So employers want you to show them that they are, it's like a negotiation. It's exchange of value. So it's not a case of charity or pity or anything like that. So you need to show that you solve the problem, like I said before, you fill the gap, and you produce visible outcomes as well as save time and money. So please bear in mind that at the end of the day, it is exchange of value. So what recruiters want to see and hear during interviews is a case study that shows how you solved a real business problem before, a blog post or dashboard or screenshots of that shows the impact you've made, the impact of your work, just like the DM I said I sent to that founder, all of those things that was contained in my content and everything like that. I just realized that I didn't clean myself, just a minute, right? All of those things, if your content is not showing this proof, it is going to be a little bit of a challenge for them to trust you. Also, a product report or data set that helps others do better work. Collaboration. What makes you stand out is showing that you've worked in an environment that works before. Here's an example of a data science project that our interns worked on during their internship at Amdari. So this is a machine learning project, right? This is a machine learning project, and you can see that it was built by our interns. It's a waste classification machine learning project. So what they do is they will upload an image or take a photo with their device, and it will classify the waste category. So if it's plastic, it is classified. If it's metal, so this was built by our interns. These are people who just took a course, never worked anywhere before, and they built it using these tools: TensorFlow, Git, and Hugging Face. Right. So this is just an example of the quality of project that our interns work on, solving real business problems for organizations across the UK. So this is an example. And here's also an example of a project that can get a recruiter to say, you know what, this person is somebody that takes initiative and I'd like to work with. This is a Bechdel test, right? It's a test that you get to take where you source data, and it really helps you build your data sourcing skills, analytical skills, and storytelling skills. So it's a movie data set where you're able to analyze, okay, in this film, how many scenes had female actors talking about conversations totally unrelated to men, right? So it's a kind of test that honestly it's mind-blowing, right? It shows your analytical process, and you can fetch the data set from platforms like I think they call it IMDb, all of those film related platforms. You can get the data from there. Having quality projects like this is beautiful, but please do not forget, this is an example of a beautiful project you can have in your portfolio, not necessarily backed by business context, because remember I said this is for like a film project, except you can now tie it to saying, okay, it had this effects for maybe a film organization or something like that. But you see this one that I showed you that our interns work on, this has business context. It is backed by business context because you're doing that for an organization, and you're able to know, okay, what's the problem? Why do we have to do this waste classification, right? So, and what's the end goal of doing that? So now we've said so much, and I realized that one thing that people struggle with in terms of posting on LinkedIn, because now I've shown you samples of projects you can work on. People would say, I don't know how to tell the story. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to post. Here's an example of how you can draft your message, right? And you can publish on LinkedIn. This week, I worked on a project where the challenge was clear. The company was losing time, it was money, because reporting was manual, slow, and inconsistent. You address the pain point, the business challenge. That's what you just done there. Sometimes the business challenge does not have to be all encompassing. It can just be specific to a particular task you're carrying out. That problem can be very specific to that task. So you can tie it that way, and then you proceed to say, so I identified the root problem, built an automated dashboard using SQL, Power BI. Talk about the tool that you used in this case. Make sure it's tied to your own field, right? And ensure that you talk about what the result is, right? You've got to drive faster decisions, better visibility for the company, and real business impact. You can further, to break what that business impact is. Again, I can't make this so wordy and too texty. So we just had to bring out the most important. So most times people struggle with, what do I share? What story do I talk about? How do I draft my message? LinkedIn is not about posting, I'm happy to announce. Sometimes it is a realization, a lesson learned, right? Something you figured out while working with a team, and that's what this does for you. A problem that you solved. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, I got this scholarship, I got this job, or I got that job. Sometimes it's something you did during your, while working on a project that you share. Here's an example of another person that got a GRC job during the course of her internship. She got the job just 3 months into her internship at Amdari. And you can see here on our LinkedIn, it says GRC at Amdari. Her name is Sandra Udushola Stevenson. And here she shares her story. We also have a video where she talks about how she got a job right here on my So if you come to this page, for example, you see the different people that have gotten jobs. So I attach the link to this particular page on my slide, right? Oh, it's not okay. Yes, please. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Oshoka. Yes, you can actually drop your email. My colleagues will copy it since you're unable to. So you can just drop your email. I would have set phone number also, but because of privacy, since you can't fill the form, so but you can do that definitely. Right. So yeah, as I was saying, so that's exactly how that works out. So moving on to what I was saying. So she got a job, and she got the job in GRC. And again, it's all thanks to the fact that these people have different things to share and talk about. Let me stop sharing my screen. So I think there is a minor glitch with. Let me stop sharing. Yeah. Let me reshare again. So it's showing double, and when I try to share another screen, you guys cannot see that particular screen. So I am opening it up right now. Okay, it's coming up. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, right? So this is just to show you more people that have been able to get jobs in the course of the internship at Amdari. So what proof of work gets why proof of work gets you hired, right? Why is it not moving on to my next slide? I'm not showing a different slide right now. Apologies, please. So I think there is a glitch with Google Meet. So I am moving to the next slide, but it doesn't show that I'm on the next slide. Let's see, it shows now. Okay. So just give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. It's coming up. Okay, I think it's fixed now. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. All right, thank you. So yes, so why proof of work gets you sponsored? The whole thing I've been saying, predictability, evidence, right? Your portfolio aligns with the business problems or with business problems. You didn't also wait for permission to prove yourself. See, when I sent a DM to that founder, I didn't wait for permission to say that I can also do this or reach out. I didn't wait for a job board to tell me to apply. They like people, and you don't know that you're signaling something to them, right? You just think that, oh, I am going to I'm going to just apply. But you're showing them the kind of person that you are. And founders really love people that are audacious. They know that you have that zeal, and someone like you on the team with the type of drive that you have is going to mean a lot. I promise you, they see these things. So you think you're just doing these things. Oh, I'm just working on projects. But you're showing traits that every founder will want to be associated with. So, and most times your work also find them. My work found them. In my case, that's the second employer I had. One of our interns also, her work found, those people, and they sent her DMs. And like I said earlier, sometimes you don't know, but these people just have been seeing your post and they'll be like, there's actually somebody on LinkedIn. Oh my God, I think that person will be a great addition to our team. Let's send them a DM. That's how you get DMs from people. So sponsorship goes to the candidates who you moved out the most, right? So if you're able to prove that you've done this before, beyond the certificate, beyond anything else, you're removing doubt faster. So instead of asking who will sponsor you, just try to think it this way. How can I make a company need me so bad that sponsorship becomes the only option? Remember what I said in my case. One thing that worked for me was I was just delivering value. I promise you, I didn't know that there was such a thing as sponsorship. I didn't know a recruiter would wake up one day and say, let me sponsor this person. I didn't know. I just wanted to go from entry level to having a more senior role in the company. That was my goal, right? But guess what came with it? Increased payment, higher earning power within the same organization, right? Sponsorship, and also all the things, right? So, and the growth from there was just, amazing. So 3 types of proof that will get you to attract these people. Please make sure you post on LinkedIn, GitHub. Make sure you also show that you have solved problems before, right? And also make sure that you have reference, people that are backing up your claim of what you've done. That's one thing that has helped our interns at Amdari. Reference letter. I promise you, they get this reference and it backs up their claim of what they've done. Let me show you how reference has helped one of our interns at Amdari to get a job So let me present something else. Like I said, it seems like there is something wrong with Google Meet. So when I try to share my screen, like just switch my tab, it doesn't play it, right? So let me play a video for us real quick from somebody that said this the reference letter she got from Amdari was one of the things that really helped her. So I'll play it for just 15 seconds. So like I said, I'll take our questions soon. So let's just play the video for like 10 seconds. So her name is Toyin. She got a job and she referenced the reference letter from Amdari as one of the things that helped her to stand out. So there were two people being considered at the very last stage. So according to her, they went with her because of her reference. Most times we underestimate the role that having a UK back to reference can do, right? And that's what you get with Amdari. You get a UK reference letter. Okay, so it's not coming up right now. So I think I'll come back to playing this subsequently. But I really just wanted us to hear how the reference letter helped Toyin to get a job after, two of them were considered for the job she was applying to. So let me come back to my other screen since that would not play, but I will go back to that. Like I said, so this is the list of visa sponsorship companies that I said I was going to share. Now, this is just a screenshot from it. When you click here, right? When you click here, you will see it extends to so many pages. It extends to so many pages. Let me open that for us so you will see that. Yes, thumbs up. So this is it. So I can scroll down and down. Let's give me a minute, please. I can scroll down and you'd see more jobs. You'd see all of the companies that are sponsoring. It's a very lengthy one. Look at where my cursor is. This is just where we are. So when you scroll down, you can see we're already on 114,000, page. This is it, 114. And this is still where my cursor is. So if you'd love to have access to this, I'll be sharing it with you, right? So this is just like a screenshot of it from my screen. So if you'd love to have access to it, make sure you fill the attendance form like I mentioned. And my colleague is going to send you the link to fill the form. Sorry, he's going to send you these details. Now, for every intern in the program at Amdari, we also give you access to visa sponsorship job board. You are able to apply to all of these visa sponsorship jobs right from Amdari website. So we are not just saying, oh, these are the companies, or no, we're even bringing the application link directly to your dashboard. So but it's open to interns, by the way. This particular one is open to interns. But the other one I just shared, that list of over 100,000 plus jobs, I would share that with everybody on this call today. My colleague has just dropped the form again, so you can fill it, and he will send it to your email. Please, if by the end of tomorrow you don't receive this email, I urge you to check your spam folder. We send it every Sunday. So if you don't see it in your email, check your spam folder. I promise you it is always there. Now, here's another sample of our interns that have gotten jobs. This person said, I started getting interviews after joining Amdari. The CV template really helped me. And this one says, hi, Jennifer. I just want to thank you and the Amdari team for the amazing work that you guys are doing. May God bless you all. Guess what? I got a job. Is the internship working? Yes, because we're not just setting you up for success with just experience. We also give you mentorship. Every Thursday, there is a mentorship session on how you can ace an interview. Now, yesterday, we got this feedback from one of our interns who shared the experience. He said, I had an incredible, valuable session yesterday. That's the mentorship and mock interview session. So, he said it provided practical guidance, clear strategies that helped me understand how to present myself confidently and professionally. This session helped me to identify my strength, improve the way I communicate my experience, and understand how to structure my answer effectively. Now, this is for interview prep. This is open to all interns in our program. The reason why this is important is because beyond just you gaining the experience, Amdari wants you to understand how to answer interview questions. So we have interview prep session with our interns every Thursday. Every Thursday throughout your internship, there is an interview prep session. And what it does is what this intern in the program has written rather. So he said, most importantly, it has significantly boosted my confidence. I now feel more prepared and more aware of what interviewers are looking for. The session helped me overcome the anxiety I previously had about interviews and gave me the tools I need to approach them with clarity and self-assurance. take a look at the detailed feedback this person is giving. Overall, the interview preparation session has made a meaningful difference in my readiness to apply for jobs, and I feel far more capable of performing well in upcoming interviews. Now, can you see this, right? This is from an intern in the program. And I'd like to quickly play a video for us so that you can see how this interview prep session played out. This happened last Thursday. So this is one of our specialists. Her name is Chichi. She's one of the data engineering specialists in the program. And this is one of our interns, Santiago. He's one of the data engineering interns in the program. Now, he was one of the people that volunteered to be interviewed during our interview prep session last Thursday, right? We had over 171 interns on the call on this day, I promise you. And let me play it for us briefly. It's a 3-minute video, but I'll only play it for about 2 minutes or less. So you can just see how the interview prep session works, right?
Try to improve in that sense.
All right. Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay, my final question is, have you used Power Query before?
Power Query, yes, I have.
Okay, can you tell me what kind of tool is it? I mean, why do you use Power Query? And can you walk me through a project that you did using Power Query?
So the one that we did had to do with Customer-Tron, and we had basically 2 tables, one indicating customer information, so like where they were from, where the gender, and I believe that was it, and their age. And the other one indicating account information, which had things like what was the balance in the bank.
Okay, so because of time, I would pause it there. So that's him responding to an interview question. Now let's quickly listen to him getting a feedback from how he performed during the interview prep session. Now he's one of the people that just joined us in October, so he's just 1 month into the program. So this is his first interview prep in terms of being on the spot, right? So trust me, you're learning from people, and you're also sometimes on the hot seat and you get interviewed. So in different ways, you will get to be, developed during this internship program. So every Thursday, every intern is expected to join this interview prep session. So I'm trying to play where he was getting the feedback from his team lead, but I don't know why it's taking time to play. But again, just like I said earlier, I will most likely just come back to that so it doesn't waste our time. All right. So let me see if this is going to come up so that we can hear from this intern that said the reference from Amdari.
Using them and all this. So then the reference too from your hand was pretty tight, because they actually had to mention it that my references were hair tight, that they were actually considering 2 people, but my references actually nailed it for me.
Okay. So yeah, so that's one of the people that got a job, all thanks to the reference letter that she gets from Amdari. So reference backs up your claim of experience a whole lot. Backs up of your claim of experience and what you have done before, right? So let's come back to my slide real quick. And like I said, I'll be taking questions very, very soon. So let's come back to my slide. Okay. So if you have any question for me, please ensure that you're already typing it somewhere so you don't forget. So at the end of the day, you need to understand that for you to get a chance to be sponsored, your role has to be under this visa sponsorship list, right? It has to be listed as one of those jobs that qualifies for sponsorship, and it has to fall under the category of those jobs that also meet or exceed the salary threshold. So we'll take a look at those career paths. But first things first, you need to take a course in tech. For you to even say, I want to transition, you need to take a course in tech. So you've taken a course in tech. The next thing is, do not skip that very important stage, which is the must-have stage, experience, building proof. Do not skip it. Build proof before you start applying to jobs. Building proof will not take you a year, 2 years, or a decade. It will just take you like 3-4 months. in my case, I built proof for 4 months, got a job that changed, the trajectory positively for me, right? And it became ahead after that. It just takes you 3 months sometimes, 4 months sometimes, just commit that period. 2 months in some cases for our interns, people got jobs 2 months into the program, right? So make sure you build proof. Do not keep that stage. You cannot, experience is a must have. It's not a nice to have. So when you build this proof, build it in such a way that it exposes you to stakeholder conversations, client feedback, and also actual business challenges, not proof that is just random projects. Those are also nice, but it doesn't make you stand out, right? Now, using real tools to solve real problems and having real collaborations with real teams comes with this internship. Not just, okay, yeah, I worked on a project, what team did you work with? All of that is not part of it. Then it becomes, it becomes a challenge for you to say you're convincing people. Then also reference, when you have people backing up your claim of what you've done, makes it super easy also to say that you're landing the job, right? So reference helped Toyin, for example, and a lot of our interns. In fact, one person sent me a DM yesterday. She got a job and she requested for reference. Yes, there are some people that will get the job even before the reference is needed, right? And one of the major wins for us at Amdari is not just saying that, Obaro joined the internship, Samuel joined the internship, Moses joined the internship. It is saying Obaro, Samuel, Moses, Theophilus, and Martino joined, and they all got jobs. And that's like the major win for us at the end of the day. So what are the career paths that are under the sponsorship list? Major tech career paths are also there. Like I said, like big data, whether data engineering, data science, data analytics, cybersecurity, whether it's GRC, ethical hacking or pen testing, or even SOC, SOC, right? They all fall under it. The same thing with HR analytics, business analysis, project management, just to mention a few. It's not limited to the career paths that I mentioned, by the way. I'm just focusing on the ones that Amdari offers you work experience in. There are other tech career paths that offer visa that are on the list of sponsorship jobs also. So now let's take a look at, we've seen the roles, right? So I would like you to do something on the call today. I'd like us to take a quick assessment. I promise you it's only going to take just few minutes of your time to perform this assessment, right? So I will like you, and I know, okay, people are saying that they cannot feel or click links, which is sad because I feel it would affect the number of people that would be able to take this test with me. This test is only going to take about few minutes of our time, honestly, about just few minutes of our time. So it's a job readiness assessment test that I would like us to take together. So when you click on that link that I dropped in the chat, you will be redirected to this page that you see here. Click on Start My Free Assessment, that button that you see me click. Click on it and you will be redirected here. Click on Start Assessment. All right, just click on Start Assessment. Okay, I think there is an issue with my network. So just click on Start Assessment. Okay, just so that this doesn't take our time, I'll come back to my slide. But the link I shared, it's a good one for you to take that assessment test. I'll still come back to this if time permits us, but I need to also, prioritize taking your questions. So the assessment test was for us to see how job ready we are at the end of the day. So you can just still click it and take the assessment test, right? But I'll come back to that. Hopefully it is good and we can proceed. Okay, it's good now. So it's good now. Let me see if the screen is showing. Yes. So once you come here, after you click on Start Assessment, you will see this. It says you should answer every question sincerely. So just, it says here, have you taken a course in any of these career paths? Data, cybersecurity, business analysis, and project management. If you have, click yes. If you haven't, click no. So when you click on yes, it will tell you to select the one you've taken a course in. Select the one you've taken a course in and click on next. It's just 7 questions. Then how many projects are currently in your portfolio? Select the number that applies to you. Do you have a professional portfolio showcasing your work? Again, select the one that applies to you and click on next, right? So once you click on next, on a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you that your CV matches job descriptions in your field? Select the one that applies to you. Is your CV keyword optimized? Select the one that applies to you, right? Then click on next, like I said. Now, do you have optimized LinkedIn profile that highlights your skill and achievements in your preferred career path. Select the one that applies to you. And then, do recruiters reach out to you on LinkedIn? If it's no, if it's yes, select, right? If it's never, select. And then, do you have at least one professional reference in your preferred career path? So if you're trying to get a job as a GRC person, SOC analyst, project manager, do you have a reference under that field? If it's a no, select it. If it's a yes, select it. And then last page, do you know how to use SEET approach to answer, tell me about yourself? Select yes if you can. If you have it, select no if you don't have it. On a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you in applying SEET during interviews? Select the one that applies to you. Last one, I thought that was the last one. Do you know how to use STAR approach to answer competency-based questions? Select yes if you have it. Select no if you don't have it. Now, on a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you in applying STAR approach? Select the one that applies to you and submit your response. Now, click on Get My Results. To get your result, you have to type in your name. So I'm just typing in something short. Type in your email, type in a phone number, select any location. Like I said, I'm just selecting anything, and then submit your form. And you can see that this is showing my job readiness score at 47, and it is giving me recommendations, right? So it's telling me what I scored under portfolio, what I scored under skill is 8 points, portfolio is 14 points, CV is 12 points, LinkedIn is 3 points, reference letter I got 0, because I don't have reference, seats I got 0.8, star I got this point. So just see the feedback that I am getting for each of these things. So you would receive your feedback on what you can do to be better, right? So just click on it. It says issue, profile incomplete, invisible to recruiters. Then my recommendation is that I should get a full profile revamp with optimized sections. And then it's telling me that I can have my CV optimized, or LinkedIn rather, by just speaking to a career coach at Amdari. So you can click here to speak to a career coach at Amdari, and that would be done. If I check my feedback for interview readiness, it is telling me that this means that I struggle to answer behavioral questions clearly. That's the issue. And it's saying that I should learn the STAR method with practice. And then the action it's telling me to take is Amdari mock interview sessions with STAR framework, and it's telling me to speak to a career coach, and I can click there to speak to a career coach. So I would like to know what you all scored for those that were able to take the assessment test, right? Okay, Adeni, you've taken it, that's fine. For those that were able to take the assessment test, what was your score? You can see that on my own, I scored 47. So let's come back to my slide real quick so that we can proceed, right? And like I said, I'll start taking questions shortly. So it is very important for you to, Martino, you scored 14. Oh my God, you need to bypass the UK experience bias. You need to jump on the internship program. Pago Shei, you need experience. And like I said, you couldn't submit Mohammed. Ifeanyi, how can you score 0? That's Ifeanyi, how can you score 0? Please, I would like you to speak to a career coach at Amdari so that we can see how. Okay, Martino is an intern. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's beautiful. I'm sure your score will go up soon. Yeah, Ifeanyi, that's fine. Honestly, it's fine. So Amdari gives you real world experience. Please try submitting. Some people were able to submit on the call, Joy and also Mohammed. So maybe it's your network. So please just try again so you can see what you scored. So for Amdari, every project you work on or complete is a story waiting to be told. It's a signal waiting to be given to those recruiters. Because remember I said you will not be working alone or in isolation. You're working with people, recruiters, and the team leads and team members, just like everything I've shown you. And you can see how this has helped people get jobs. Take a look at Betty on LinkedIn, for example. Here it says she worked at Amdari as Information Technology Project Manager. She was an intern. Radia scored 0. Why? I said why? Wow. Akiola also 22. Beautiful. Okay. So please, I'd like you to take the recommendation that you see there and take the necessary action. Speak to a career coach at Amdari. You'll see the time slots available every time, right? And then this one says, okay, yeah. So she got a job just 4 months later after starting her internship, and she resumed with them in May. as Information Technology Business Project Manager. The same role, the same job title she did her internship at. So you can see how the internship is setting people up for success. So now you might wonder, okay, once I sign up for this internship for money, what do I get? What you get is working on solving real business problems by applying real tools, right? Tools that are very much relevant, that when you check the job board, you would see. For example, as a data analyst, you'll be working with Power BI, SQL, Excel, Tableau to solve business problems, not learning it theoretically, right? The same thing for data science. You'll be using Azure, GCP, AWS, Python, what's it called? Tableau, Docker Studio, just to mention a few. The same thing applies to data engineering. You'll be working with SQL, Python, Docker Studio, GitHub, Azure, PySpark, again, to mention just a few, right? And you'll be working in different capacities depending on the project. So as a data analyst, for example, some projects will have you working as a product analyst, supply chain analyst. So it goes on and on. For you to have a detailed view of all of this, please just click on that attendance form, like I said. Honestly, there is so much that you can still digest from this slide because of time. So you can see that as a data scientist, you'll be working as a machine learning engineer on some project, and you'll be working across different industries, right? As a data engineer, you can work as ETL developer, AWS cloud engineer, Azure cloud engineer, big data engineer, just to mention a few, right? The same thing applies to business analysis and project management. You'll be working on real business problems using tools like Power BI, SQL, Jira, Notion, Draw.io, and just to mention a few, you'll be managing actual teams. You're not working alone at any time during this internship. You're not working alone at any time. You have a team lead, you have stakeholder conversations, you have team member conversations, and you work as operations analyst on some projects, requirements analyst on some projects, systems analyst, just to mention a few. Same with project management. Sometimes you're a Scrum Master, sometimes you're a lean agile coach, sometimes you're a Scrum Master consultant, you're technical Scrum Master, IT project manager, or web project manager. It goes on and on. And you manage actual teams. You will not work alone. Again, you have actual people that you're working with. And then as GRC, SOC, and ethical hacking, you work in different capacities, SOC analyst, STEAM engineer, digital forensics, or pen tester, also white hat hacker, and all that. You'll be working with tools like Nmap, Metasploit, Nikto, Burp Suite, just to mention a few, Kali Linux also. Again, honestly, you'll be working with different projects across different sectors. Now, one beautiful thing I'd like to tell you about is the quality of team leads that you will get during your internship at Amdari. This is one of the team leads that we have, and our interns get to work with the best mentors, right? Because your team leads are your mentors. And this is Jennifer Ene, one of our amazing team leads for our interns. She works with the data analytics team, right? So she doesn't work with every data analytics intern. She works with some of them because we have a big team of team leads for you, a big team of specialists. These are professionals that are acing. Please, can anyone see my screen? Can anyone see my screen? Melinda says she can't see my screen. Oh my God. And I didn't know. Oh, wow. Sorry, let me reshare. I've been sharing my screen all along. Oh. Give me a thumbs up if you can see it now. I honestly had no idea. Yeah, Melinda, Melinda caught it. Thank you very much for calling my attention to it. I honestly didn't know that you guys were not seeing my screen because it's been displaying all along, right? So that means you guys didn't see all these that I showed you, the different career paths, the tools, all these, everything I was saying about tools. This is it. So I'm going back just to show you guys again, like a recap. But I mentioned everything. We saw till GR. Oh, okay. All right, thank you. That means Melinda was very fast at calling my attention. Thank you so much, Melinda. One bottle of Coke or champagne for you. Okay, so this is one of the amazing team members that we have that work with our interns. Her name is Jennifer, like I said, and her guys are done with the internship. So they joined us in August. Take a look at the sweet, amazing messages they sent to Jennifer. This person says, "Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you for all your guidance and support during my internship. I truly appreciate everything I have learned from you. To my amazing colleagues, see you all at the top. Clock it. So now this is beautiful, right? Because when we tell you that there are a lot of things you gain during this internship, I am not just saying this just to say that, oh, this is it. Even the people you would meet, the colleagues, you can see this person even already giving shout out to our colleagues and the people that are leading your team. In fact, Jennifer got spotlighted by the Tableau community in, I think, the US, or the global community of Tableau. That's the quality of standard team leads that we have for you. These are the people, these are the mentors. That's how quality they are across different career paths. The same way we have Jennifer for data analytics, right? That's the same way we have, Emeka still for data analytics. That's the same way we have Brown for project management, Gold, that's Blessing for project management. That's the same way we have Oluchi for business analysis, amazing professionals on LinkedIn. That's the same way we have, honestly, I can't remember everybody because you will be working with over 40 team leads. Our intern, we have over 40 people. So I'm not saying only you 40 team leads. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's how much we have them. So they work with different intern groups, right? So different intern groups with their own team lead. So Jennifer, for example, has a team lead. Honestly, don't envy the people that work with Jennifer because I promise you one thing, that's the same thing that happens with every program, right? We handpicked our specialists, our mentors. We handpicked them to make sure that they are top in their field. I mean, being spotlighted by the global Tableau community, for example, it's an amazing one. So you can see this person also says, thank you, Jennifer, for being an amazing mentor. It was a pleasure meeting great minds. I pray we excel in all our endeavors. Definitely going to miss the drop-in sessions. These drop-in sessions are like your stand-up meeting, like a typical team in a tech company where you guys have meetings either every day, or for this internship, you guys meet twice in a week, right? So, and this other person says, thank you, Amdari. I truly cherish every moment within my first month of joining. I was fortunate to land my first data analytics role. This is beautiful. With a US-based fintech company. A special thanks to Jennifer for all your support and effort. Goodbye, everyone. Can you see how this person ended her internship? She got a job with a US-based fintech company. Everything Amdari shared with you is organic, right? These are people who are, she started in August. Take a look at it. August 11, data analytics. The same way, if you join today, you will be starting with December 6th. And this is how your team group will be named. Amdari, December 6th. Now, if you're data analytics, it will carry data. If you're in project management, it will carry project management. So that's the same way every internship group is named on Amdari WhatsApp group. And your team lead is with you guys there. You can see Amdari participant relation is here in case you have any issues. This internship gives you 100 support. Like you have nothing to worry about, even in terms of getting a job. You have nothing to worry about. Honestly, the screenshots are a lot. I just could only pick a few just so that you guys can see the quality of people you'll be working with. This other person says, bye all, you guys are the best. I wish to meet some of you someday in real life because it's a remote internship, right? But you guys have virtual meetings, yes. The same way my camera is turned on, the same way you know my face, the same way I am working with my team at Amdari across UK, Finland, Canada. That's the same way you'll also be working with people majorly across the UK. Some of our interns joined from Canada, no doubt. Some joined from US, but we have a lot of them joined from the UK. That's the same way the Amdari team is structured, right? So that's just different things. This person says, many thanks to Jennifer and the rest of the colleagues. It was indeed a great experience and an opportunity to meet great minds like you all. You are not working in isolation, guys. And then she says, I do hope we would all try to continue to network amongst ourselves after this and make great friendship going forward. I remember a separate WhatsApp group was set up earlier, apart from the official Amdari alumni one. Can you see, guys? This is what you get with this. You build relationship with fellow professionals in your field, and you would even get to work with cross-functional people. So this is me telling you what you get with this program. You will not for one day work alone. You will be working with people. That's the standard of building an experience that is valuable. Meet people across the UK, US, and Canada. build a beautiful relationship. Who knows? You guys can have an idea one day and you build a company and you're like, oh, there was somebody I worked with during my internship. Because you guys built a relationship, you guys are sharing ideas and a lot comes from it. These are just more people that have gotten jobs, all thanks to team leads like Sean, like Emeka. This is Soma's team member, for example. Like I said, amazing team leads, quality professionals that you're working with. So do not jealous or envy people that worked with Jennifer, because everybody is as quality as Jennifer at Amdari. We don't work with, people that are not standard. This is also Larry, who got a job as a business analyst. Everybody had an amazing team. This is Olainka, who requested for reference letter from Amdari. And it says here, Olainka has nominated you to provide an employment reference for their application to Healthcare Ireland. And this person here says, the above name has been offered a position as a systems analyst and has with our company and has provided your details as a referee. So you can see how this internship is helping people get jobs. So we are not tapping at all when we say that this sets you up for success. So because of time, that's why I'm trying to skip a couple of my slides so I can take your questions. But I'm just wrapping up. But everything I've just been saying is, please, when you apply to jobs, do not skip this stage. Ensure you have this before you apply. So you've taken a course, you have the experience. Please package well by having proof of work done and then apply. All right. And then if you'd like to join the cohorts, just like the people that joined in August and are now, done with the program, and they have gotten so much value, where some of them have gotten jobs, some of them have built beautiful relationships. The experience has been amazing. That's the same way people will be starting on the 6th of August. And we have a lot of people that have already enrolled. We have people who will be joining the business analysis team, project management team, data analytics. We have people across different, and they'll be working with different team leads like Jennifer, Soma, and the likes, just to mention a few. So the next cohort is starting on the 6th of December. So if you'd like to join this cohort, I have good news for you. We're running a discount, but it's closing by tomorrow, right? It's closing and going back to, so you can see discount. So from 16th, it is going to go back to it's going to increase to 310. So if you want to take advantage and pay $299, you have to enroll today. And you can see you can pay in 3 installments, right? So it's closing and going back to 310 from tomorrow. Honestly, the price will change on the payment platform. It will increase to 310. So, but after then, it will go back to original fee of £500, right? So if you'd like to take advantage of this discount, pay £299 by securing your spot with just £99 today. So for anybody interested in enrolling, I'll show you how you can secure your spot and enroll for the program. So let me just come here real quick. So when you click on the link that I'll be dropping in the chat right now, I'll take your questions after showing you how to enroll. Don't worry about that. Okay, my colleague has even dropped the link. Sorry, I copied the wrong link. Please don't use my link, please. I pasted the wrong link, but like I said, my colleague has dropped the link. Let me see if I'm able to drop the right link here. So I just dropped the right link also. So when you click on it, you will get redirected to this page, right? You will get redirected to this page. Please scroll down to the career path of your choice, right? What career path do you want to enroll in? Scroll down there. When you get there, select Secure Internship. Once you click on Secure Internship, you will get redirected to this page. Just a minute, it's opening up. All right, so you get redirected to this page. Right here on this page, you see this, right? $299 if you want to pay once, but if you want to pay in 2 installments, you see $149. If you want to pay in 3 installments, you see 99.67. So let's say you want to pay 3 times. Select the 3 installments, click on Secure Internship. You will get redirected to this page where you're able to see how the breakdown works. So if you pay today, your next payment will be due in December, and your next payment will be due in January. So select Proceed. Once you select Proceed, click on your name and type it, email address, type it, and then phone number, type it. Click on Proceed. Once you proceed, you'll be prompted to fill your card details. The minute you fill your card details, your payment becomes successful and you will get redirected to this page automatically. This is the enrollment page. please ensure you fill the enrollment form with your details. First, starting with your bio data, and then click on next and type in the program you want to enroll for. Data analytics, data science, data engineering, and the likes. And what upload your payment receipt. It's always sent to your email, or just do a screenshot and upload it. And then type your name, the name on the account you used in paying, in case you used another family member's account or a business account or something. Read the terms and conditions and select yes, you've read it. How did you find out about Amdari? Select how you found out about us. And then the duration, which is 4 months, not 3 months. And when do you intend to start? So if you want to start on the 6th of December, amazing. If you want to start in January, you can still use this discount. Like I said, it's closing tonight. It's going back to the original fee from tomorrow. I know we have just about 2 hours to midnight, if I'm not mistaken. So if you'd like to take advantage, you need to pay within the next. This discount has been on the entire week, honestly, right? So just select it. What influenced your decision? Type it, and then which of our sessions influenced your decision? Select Saturday info session by virtue of being on this call today, and then submit, and your payment is successful. I will take questions right now. Thank you all so much for staying up until this point in the call today. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate you guys engaging me. I appreciate you guys following through, dropping comments, giving thumbs ups, and sharing your take, your feedback. I sincerely appreciate that. You guys did not make it boring. So I'll take questions right now. I know I have a couple of questions and people have raised their hands. So I will see, let me quickly hear from Olakunle Alao. Hi. Then I'll read some questions in the chat. Please, if I skip your question for whatever reason, can you copy and paste it back so it's very close for me to see? But if you'd rather ask a question, just raise your hand like Olakunle, Emmanuel, and Martino have done, and I'll take your questions. So thank you all so much for your patience. Olakunle, please go on. I hope you can unmute yourself. Hi, Olakunle. Olumide, please, I think you need to allow people to be able to unmute themselves. So please give people that opportunity. Because I think that's all Olakunle. But let me just read people's questions from the chat while you sort that. All right. So I'm seeing Jude's question. Do you need prior knowledge in TECO? Yes, Jude. Yes, 100%. You need to have taken a course to do this internship. But the only thing is, it doesn't have to be that, oh, you have mastered everything. No, it's very okay. When I did my internship, that's an internship that got me a job 4 months later. When I did that internship, I could only code in 2 programming languages. Honestly, I could only code. And that coding, it's not even something that I'll tell you that, oh, I was a master. No, right? I was honestly all over the place with my coding. I couldn't build a mobile responsive website. I didn't even know such a thing as media query or anything like that. I would build a landing page that was super unresponsive, and I would be wondering, okay, somebody should fill this form now. Where does it go? How is this button not working? How is this? I didn't know that I needed a backend developer. Internship made me understand the need for cross-functional team. The fact that my job is only complete when I rely and work with a certain set of people, like backend developer, like UI UX designer. My course did not tell me that, right? I was only coding and learning with front-end frameworks. So you need to have taken a course. But if you've taken a course, but oh, I've forgotten, Amdari has crash courses, right? To help you refresh your memory. Beautiful crash courses assures that. Beautiful crash courses that helps you to refresh your memory, right? Olumide, can people unmute now? So I hope that answers your question, Jude. Tijani says, do you need prior knowledge? Okay, sorry. I just saw quantitative analysis now. Is there internship on that? No, Tijani. Only these ones you see on my screen. Data analytics, data engineering, data science, business analysis, project management, SOC, ethical hacking, GRC. Olakunle, I hope that answers your question. Please, for anybody paying on this call tonight, ensure you fill the enrollment form. That's how we get to send you your job, your internship confirmation letter, your job description for the internship, and every detail like that. You'll get all of this information by the week leading to the start of your internship. And again, like I said, to take advantage of this discount, all you have to do is to pay £99 today, right? And by tomorrow, we are moving up to this price. And then by the end of the month, it goes back to £500. So even if you're joining in January, you can still use this discount. It still applies. All right. Olumide, can people unmute now? Olakule, can you try unmuting yourself?
Mom, people can unmute. Olakunle might have raised his hands for a long time. It's
Oh.
probably not there.
Okay. Let me move on to Olaiwola. Hi. Olaiwola, can you unmute yourself? So while I'm waiting for Olaiwola to unmute, please can anybody, okay, Emmanuel, did you just unmute yourself? Let me just speak to somebody that can already unmute. Emmanuel, can you speak? Yes, please, just go on, ask your question.
Hi, Jennifer. Thank you
This
so
is
much.
Omomi.
So, oh, sorry, Amomi. So, I've actually joined Tenalytics,
Okay.
right? And on the data science project
Yeah.
stack, which was for January 2025
Oh,
cohort. Right. But then I was busy. I was like, it was really kind of difficult for me to meet up with sessions, to do a lot of things. And then after that, we were moved on to Amdari for the internship program.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and also for the Amdari part, I was totally unavailable. So right now I am trying to get back on because I've completed my studies and then I've been able to
Okay.
create more time for myself and all of that. So I'm trying to get into it right now and dive deeper. So for someone like me, obviously I've completed the projects, not really the projects, but then the courses that Tenalytics offered us.
Yeah.
But I would really say because of time then for me,
Yeah.
it was kind of a struggle to meet up. So I'm looking at coming back. So is there like a plan for someone like me, or do I have to start all over again with Amdari and stuff like that?
Yes. Honestly, I advise you start all over, right? Because you also just said that you were not active, you didn't really do much because of your schedule. So I'm not sure you really did much as a result of that. So for you to get the most, for you to benefit the most, it's advisable. Now, I will tell you that we have people in the program. In fact, just a minute, if I can even, I honestly wanted to share that I didn't know that that was not open from my end. So this lady got a job last week, right? From the program. She got a job last week from the internship. And she sent me a message. If I can open that up, I don't have the screenshot, that's the problem. Okay, I have seen her. So she got a job and she still says something. She says, I still want to continue my internship. So this is the message. Good morning, Omomi. Thank you because of just to hide the number, let me just do like a screenshot. She sent me this message this morning, and I'll just show us the screenshot right now. Yes. So let me just show us the screenshot right now. Just a minute. So she's coming back in the program because she has completed her, just the same way these guys who recently completed. She also came in through the same route, Emmanuel, Tenalytics, right? And she got a job 2 months after starting her internship at Amdari. And now she says she still wants to continue. Why is this person choosing to continue even though she has gotten a job? It is obviously because she got so much value, right? And she knows that working on a project, it's not a case of, oh, I know it all already. There's still so much more that you can understand, learn, and get familiar with. So let me share the screenshots with us. So this is it right here on my screen. You can see the message. Show my screen. So it says, good morning, Omomi. This was this morning, today. It says, good morning, Omomi. Thank you for the other day. I have now been referenced. I would want to continue with my internship at Amdari. What is the process? And then, sorry, I forgot to kind of cancel out her number. Amazing, congratulations on your new job once again. To continue your internship, I'd like to know how many months you initially enrolled for and if that has been completed, right? The information would help me to pretty much. So let me just stop sharing. So the information would pretty much help me give her the needed clarity that she would need to continue further. So 100%, that's exactly how this program is helping, right? So I would advise you start all over because again, I'm not sure you really did much, right? When you did the internship, I'm not sure you really did much. So just start the program all over and use this link that I shared. And the good part is it's just $2.99 for 4 months internship, and you can pay £99 today, and the next one is due in the following month, December, and the next one in January. So does that answer your question, Emmanuel?
Yes, it does. But then I also want to ask this as well. So, excuse me, I believe Tenalytics is a sister company to Amdari. And so in that effect, if I start with Amdari, because although I knew I wasn't very ready, I didn't have much time when I started with Tenalytics, but I was kind of looking at the number of months or my duration or for work experience. So if I start now with Amdari and then I'm trying to get in with everything, so would the period I've already done at Tenalytics, will it also be transferred? I mean, that is considering that these are sister companies.
Yeah. Okay, so what you did at Analytics is purely training, right? What you're coming to do at Amdari is purely work experience. So the knowledge you're bringing from there is what we will enhance further by giving you real business problems to solve. So in this case now, it's not a case of, oh, okay, continuation of what you learned because you're taking a course already, so you're done. So now you're coming to apply that knowledge in solving problems. So I don't know, does that kind of clarify it for you?
Oh, well, yeah, I get that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So if you'd like to enroll, just use the link that I just dropped so that you can secure your spots before the end of today. So for everyone who has also, all right, thank you, Manuel. So for everyone who has made payments, please do not forget to fill the form, like I said, right? Fill the enrollment form. The link is in the comments, that's payment link. So fill the enrollment form because that's how we have your details on the back end also. So let me take another hand. Martino, or before I go to Martino, Olakune, can you speak now? Okay. Martino, can you speak?
Yes, I can.
Hi, Martino.
Good evening, Omumi.
Good evening.
Yeah. So first of all, wonderful session, wonderful presentation. It's been very, very insightful. So earlier on in the course of the session, you mentioned, is it operations analyst? You listed a couple of business analysts, a couple of roles in the business analyst, sub roles in the business analyst role. At times, I get confused on these job boards. You just see different, different kinds of analysts and all that. So at times it just, triggers my brain. I don't know. What can you just maybe highlight, is it like their rules or just something? I get confused. I don't know what exactly.
Yeah, I get your question. Okay, so and that's actually one of the good things with the mentorship session at Amdari. So in one single career path, right, or under one single career path, you can have different job titles. Now, I need you to understand that sometimes it's a company thing. When I was given an instance of where I have worked before and the DMs I got on LinkedIn, I showed us one that said web project manager. And then I showed us one that said product manager. Then I said I had taken the web project manager job, and then 6 months later, those people that offered me product manager role came in. I spoke to them, of course, because I wanted to know also if it's the same job or not. If it's not the same job, I wanted to weigh my option. I wasn't expecting that it would be so direct in terms of being the same job. So when I spoke to the product people, those people trying to offer me product manager role, I didn't take it because it was the same job description, just different job titles. So now I'm not saying that operations analyst and maybe requirements gathering analyst is the same thing. I just want you to know that sometimes it's just the companies and the HR. And I also reference the fact that HR is not a professional in your field, right? Their own is to make sure that they bring quality people into the team, people that will be able to help drive the vision, mission, and the purpose of the company forward. So sometimes they can just put these job titles online. However, the company chooses to name it. Now, for us at Amdari, for example, our team leads for you, they are called data analytics specialists, data science specialists, project management specialists. Now, if somebody sees it on the job board and you're now seeing another one as data scientist, data analyst, it's because the JD is different. The job description is kind of different. But you have the same capacity, the same competence, knowledge-wise, right? I'm not saying your competence level might even exactly be like on the same level, but I'm just saying what you're exposed to in terms of learning as a data analyst, like, has to be holistic and all-encompassing, so that you can easily function in any of those roles. So if a company chooses to call it requirement analyst, if they choose to call it systems analyst, if they choose to call it operations analyst, 100% that you can perform under that. That's why Amdari makes sure that you are not working under one career path throughout the internship. Some projects, and oh, by the way, during this internship, you can work on 5 projects. You can work on 4 projects, right? So it's pretty much 4-month internship where you get to work on 5 to 6 projects. So it's possible you guys work on 6, it's possible it's just 5, right? Considering that each project takes 2 to 3 weeks of execution phase. So the reason why I'm saying this is because the fact that you have different projects to work on does not mean we should not say, okay, yes, just work as a systems analyst throughout. No, we are exposing you to different career paths so that when you now see this, like you say, you see on the job board, you don't have a reason to have your, like you said, your brain is triggered. So you don't have a reason to panic. That exposure is there because Amdari has given you the exposure. Now you don't know all this because you've not gotten that type of exposure and all that. And during our mentorship sessions at Amdari also, we always let our interns know that don't always just look out for business analyst roles. That's why people don't apply properly. That's why you see some people applying blindly. It's because, I'm business analyst. So when they see operations analyst, they don't bother. Whereas you can actually apply and get it. When they see systems analyst, they don't bother because, okay, systems analyst can actually be any system. But so just read the JD and all of that, and you'll see that, okay, this is something I've done, this is something I can do. So it's a naming thing sometimes for the company based on the job description, but as long as you are a business analyst that has that holistic exposure, you would have nothing to worry about. So does that answer your question, Martino?
Okay, yes, it does. Because really what you just said now, that's really me. When I go to any job board and my eye is just searching for business analyst. So if I see any other analyst,
you don't bother.
Hey, this one again.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to, what does this role entail and all that? So I'm always, I always try to avoid all those ones. I just look out for the business analyst role. So thank you for the clarification.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, hope you'll be joining us also, Martino.
No, I just joined. I'm in this November cohort. I just joined. Yeah.
How has it been so far, by the way?
In fact, wonderful. Yeah, we've started. We're already on a project now. We had our weekly task, which we reviewed yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you join the mentorship session on Thursday also? That's the...
Yes, I also watched that interview, the one you played.
Okay.
Yeah,
you were there.
Yes, I watched it too. I watched it live.
All right. I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful ride. I mean, it's going to be a beautiful ride.
Yes, I hope so. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Martino. So, and again, questions like this, you can also always reach out to your team lead. She'll also guide you. Who's your team lead?
Joanne.
Joanne. You're in good hands. Joanne is one of the best.
Thank God.
She's actually one of the best, to be honest. You're in very good hands. All right. Thank you very much, Martino.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Olaiwola, can you speak now before I move on to Shay? Okay. Hi, Shay. So the first 2 people that raised their hand, I don't know. Are you guys sure you're on the call? Application form. Okay, that was from before. Let me read these questions in the chat. Okay, Shay, go on before I read the questions.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. I can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you. So I don't know if I should be asking this question, but I think it's just so that I'm clear, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So when it comes to, let's say data analysis now, I mean, I think I'm not saying this to discredit anything, no. It's just that I just want to get more clarity. Does it still worth it to, go or to learn stuff on data analytics, bearing the fact that there are tools where you can just upload your Excel sheet and stuff like that, and then it plots it, And if not, then I'll be happy if you can shed more light. And I know all these courses are the ones you offer, but do you think there is still more job out there when it comes to data analytics compared to data engineering? So that's my question.
Thank you very much for that. I want to go to read.co.uk just to show you. Let me put this. Just to show you that there are actually jobs out there, right? Now, and yeah, in this instance now, you're referring to data analytics and also comparing. Did you say data analytics and data science?
No. So I made mention of data analytics first. Then I'm saying, do you think it's worth going into data engineering in place of data analytics?
Okay, please. Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much. Now, for data analytics jobs today, let's take a look at how many jobs have been posted. Hold on. This data analyst. Yes. So I want to show you this with the list of jobs that are available. Exactly. Right. So now you can see that so far today, 67 jobs have been posted. In the last 3 days, it is 980 jobs that have been posted.
You can see the
Can you see
screen.
my screen?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
at all.
Oh my, thank you for calling my attention to that. I don't know why this thing does that maybe. So yes, you can see it right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is data analytics jobs, right? So, and when you scroll down, you would see right here that today it has 67 jobs. Now, in the last 3 days, it has 900. This is read.co.uk. In the last 3 days, it has 980 jobs posted. In the last week, just 1 week, 1,700 plus. And then in the last 2 weeks, over 2,000 jobs, right? This is to tell you that if, regardless of the fact that there is AI and there are some parts of the data analytics, day-to-day, tasks and activities, you can automate it. You still need human because I mean, AI is not going to be the one speaking to stakeholders, giving recommendations. There are still major aspects of being a data analyst that is highly driven by human interaction. That's the part that AI cannot take. In fact, yes, the safest, honestly, when we're engaging this, the safest is cybersecurity, business analysis, and project management. But for project management, there are still things you can automate, like documentation, but that's all, right? Business analysis, there are things you can you can automate, but it is also just documentation. But when it comes to the actual work, the interaction, the thinking, right, it is still human driven, it is still human centric. So if AI is already looking like it's taking jobs, I don't think we'll have 980 jobs in just 3 days for just this data analysis role. Or even in the last 1 week, we have 1,007. So you can see all the different companies that are also hiring for these roles. Now let's take a look at, and now you've seen the figure. So can I proceed to the comparison now? Are you good with that response?
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
So let's take a look at data engineering. Now that we have seen the figure for data, sorry, I didn't spell it right. Why is it saying page on responsibility? So, okay. So now, if you take a look at data engineering, you see that today it's 42 jobs posted. In the last 3 days, it's 617, and the last week it's 1,001. So you can see that by far, data analytics jobs are more available in comparison to data engineering roles. So 100% you can, but don't let that be the reason why you pick one. At the end of the day, honestly, everybody's job is out there. Nobody, I mean, once you have a good reason to saying that I'm going for data analytics because I love the front end side of being a data analyst, presenting to stakeholders and all of that, beautiful. But if you're a back end person, you like cloud engineering, you like ETL, you just like the back end side of being a data analyst, then data engineering is perfect for you. So if you want to say you're selecting based on job availability, both of them, they still have a lot of it online. Just that by virtue of comparing, okay, which one will AI most likely dominate more, you can already see that it's more of data analytics, right? Because
yes,
a larger part of it is easily automated. Please comment. So a larger part of it is automated for data analytics, but data engineering, you need to extract data, you need to do a whole lot. It's really back-end driven. So comparing it AI-wise, data engineering is way safer, right? But both of them are safe. Both of them, the jobs are out there. Data analytics has more jobs. Now, if you now want to pick, are you a back-end person or you don't mind presenting to stakeholders, doing your dashboards? If you don't like coding also, data analytics is nice for you. But if you like coding, if you like, more, data engineering would be nice. So make sure you're picking based on these different factors. Does that help?
Yes, that helps, and you've clarified everything. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Sheyi, for your time. So I hope you'll be joining us also. Please, like I said earlier, for everybody who is enrolling already, ensure you fill the enrollment form. It is very, very important. And the discount for the 299 is closing today, right? So we urge you to take advantage of that discount. Just secure your spot with £99 and you're good to go. So I'll go back to my previous screen and I'll take about 2 more questions. So that, I mean, you guys have been amazing. You stayed till the very end on this call today. So I'll take 2 more. Let's just do 2 more. So let me read from the chat, right? And then we would call it a close for today.